All right, guys. Episode number 37. 37. Last episode this week, guys. Knowledge Drop number 8. This one we're talking about improvement over perfection. So this one was inspired by a YouTube comment that, yeah, believe it or not, I do read some of the comments that I get on YouTube. I read most of them, actually. I don't respond to most of them, but I read most of them.
I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, I don't know. I learned recently. It's been going really well. And I'm hoping I'll get to writing sometime soon. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but Iron Man always said, "Run before you can walk." So I think I might take his advice and just start writing. Anyways, so the YouTube comment was, "I keep on holding myself back because I'm trying to do everything right instead of getting things going and improving along the way. For example, I've been so hell-bent on shipping times that it's been holding me back from actually taking this seriously. Now I know it's acceptable to take the traditional dropshipping route before scaling. Thank you, Nate, for the value." You're very welcome, unnamed commenter. I don't know what your name is. Maybe you're in here. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool to be a commenter and get your comment right on the ecom dispensary. But anyway, that's the comment, and that was on a video about like something that I've been talking about a lot, and I think that most of you guys who are in here should probably understand this concept by now. It's just like kind of the concept of like starting with dropshipping. The sexy term that I came up with for the YouTube thumbnail of the original video was drop branding, which like I kind of hate because it just it sounds, I don't know, it sounds weird, but people like that kind of stuff, so I do what the people want. But the concept is essentially like it's okay to start dropshipping and like all the downsides that you have to deal with, long shipping times, fucking ordering product from AliExpress, like all the weird and kind of like fundamental flaws with dropshipping. They're okay when you're just starting out, and you can kind of deal with that while you're validating an idea, while you're validating a product in a market. And then as soon as you validated the idea, you want to actually start building it in a way that's sustainable, i.e. getting inventory into the US and having reasonable shipping times, reasonable customer service, and all that kind of stuff. So the reason that I brought this up is because this is something that honestly, like I've struggled with myself. And honestly, I mean, I still think I kind of struggle with it, but it's something that I've been trying to keep more top of mind, which is just basically just doing shit and just sending it before I feel like it's as good as I want it to be. Because especially, and this is like so true with all my content and stuff, anything on YouTube, especially anything when it comes to like a sales page or, a VSL or anything like that, like I spend an immense amount of time on it because I want to make it freaking perfect. And there's a point of diminishing returns where like you're not going to get much better results for any additional effort. And the whole fundamental thing and like kind of my misconception that I've been trying to kind of get out of is like, it doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. Like it's not going to be perfect right off the bat, no matter what it is. You're never going to do something perfect right away. But it's just kind of this like switch in my thought process, I guess, from trying to make it like literally as best as I possibly can right off the bat versus just making it like shippable, like making it good, making it decent, but then not just leaving it at that. And over time, you ship it, you launch it, you get it out into the world, and then over time, you improve it. It's not a thing up front where you have to be perfect right up front. It's like a thing that you are constantly striving towards perfection over a longer period of time. It's not all this upfront work that you have to get done perfect right away. You get it done, and then you get it shipped, and then you optimize and you improve it. And that's kind of like the entire name of the game in any business, especially if you're trying to do any sort of scaling. And that was basically the topic that I wanted to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people, they have this tendency to not do things because they think they need to be perfect. And it's a natural thing. Like, again, I struggle with it. I think a lot of other people struggle with it, but it's just pointless. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you make more money or do better in life, be happier. If anything, it does the opposite. And yeah, that's kind of my take. What do you think, Scott, man?
Funny enough, I am the complete opposite of a perfectionist when it comes to business stuff. I'm very much, I don't know if I just got this influence before I even started with business, where I got the advice or read the advice at least to just ship it and just put out twice as much content rather than content that is super good. And that has just always stuck with me, and I've always done it at times to my own detriment. So at times I needed to be more perfectionist and I just shipped it and it just wasn't good enough. And I mean, especially with like paid traffic, if you make something that's okay, it's never going to work. You have to make it great. And great doesn't mean it needs to be perfect, however, it just means something needs to be outstanding. Something needs to be spectacularly good. Your offer, your angle, your content, copy, something. And at times I was too focused on just getting stuff out and just, hey, I'll just test twice as many products. I'll just write twice as many articles, whatever. And that definitely hurt me at times. So I've had to go the opposite direction to, I think, what most people do. Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, there's the two extremes, and you need to figure out which side of that coin you're on, and you need to start, or I guess which side of the spectrum you're on. You got to start moving towards the middle, where the optimal amount of perfectionism versus speed of implementation lies.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would say that most people are probably on the perfectionist side. I don't know. I haven't met a whole
I
lot of
don't
people
know if you
in
look at
business.
if you look at ecom, the amount of people that are like, I'll just test 10 products. I don't know if that's a mistaken approach or a lack of perfectionism.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, there's a lot of people who are in e-com businesses who just like don't give a shit at all. I think that's a little bit different, but
I mean,
it's just like,
even with my other business, Sleek Inc., where um, my business partner is a huge perfectionist and like
oh yeah,
sends me issues all the time. Where it's like, I mean, I just uploaded that. I didn't even check it because it takes 15 minutes to update on Amazon. Like, I haven't even checked it because it just doesn't matter that much, and I'll fix it when I get time to fix it. Whereas, yeah, he's like sending me this image is wrongly formatted or whatever. But again, for what he does, that's super crucial. If you're making a formula that's going to be set in stone and you're going to make a batch of however many thousand units, you got to make sure that formula is pretty fucking perfect before you ship it. Whereas if you're doing what I do and it's an online website that you can update once a second into eternity at no cost, perfectionism does not pay as well.
yeah. I think like the key distinction for me, it's not perfectionism versus like not being being a perfectionist versus not being a perfectionist. To me, like what I think really helped me get better about this was just really understanding that it's not just a one and done thing. It's not like I make this as good as I can and then it's perfect and then I ship it. It's like an ongoing process. And understanding that I had that freedom to, once I ship it after it's done, that I still have that ability to improve it and get it closer to where I want it to be, closer to wherever I think, perfection is. That really is kind of what allowed me to be like, okay, I don't need to make it perfect right away. I can ship this and then I can still improve it over time. And that's like, I mean, that's literally all business is. So that's basically what we're doing. And I think that especially is true with what we were talking about in the first episode of this week with YouTube ads. Um, this first round of YouTube ads, I made it the best that I could in a short time span. I can do a hell of a lot better. I know that I can when it comes to making, like I guess how well they convert. Like I can make higher converting ads for sure. But it's also a matter of, to do a lot of those things that I want to do, it's going to take a lot more time and it's going to be a lot more, I don't know, it's going to be a lot more time consuming. Like I'm going to have to get new content, professional new content, have to film different shots. There's a lot that goes into it, right? And this first round of tests, I basically just used all the content that we have existing, from the brand, and I just used that. So we'll see how that works. I'm not really expecting it to do amazing. If it freaking is profitable off the bat, I'm literally gonna like jump off the roof. Like it's gonna be amazing. That would be so sick. But I understand it's a constant process of improvement over time, and I don't have to get it perfect right off the bat. And I think that mindset serves me very well now. After again, it's a process. Like I'm not perfect on this, and I'm not perfect on not being perfect or not being a perfectionist. That's kind of weird, but you get what I'm saying. Improvement over perfection. It's not perfection and not perfection. It's improvement and perfection. And improvement is the much better way to go about things, in my very humble opinion.
Very true, Schmitty. Very true.
All right, I like that. That was a little bit of a switch up from yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. You got anything else to add on to this last little guy here?
I do not. I think we wrap it up there.
All right, boys and girls. Well, thank you for tuning in, especially if you made it this far. I mean, I don't really care that much either way. Like you're paying for it either way, whether or not you're listening to it this far in it. It doesn't really matter all that much to me. But I do very much appreciate those of you who, I don't know, who listen to these all the way through. It's very cool to know that there's people listening to this. Hopefully, you guys got some value from this week's episodes. As always, let us know what you thought. Let us know in the Telegram what we should call the sourcing business. I would love to hear some ideas because, it's a one-man band over here, man. I'm not getting a whole lot of help. Scotty's, out busy surfing and, doing jiu-jitsu, not running any businesses at all. So, I need some help when I can get it. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let us know. And we'll talk to y'all on Telegram. And then we'll talk to y'all next weekend.
Keep an eye out for a potential live call announcement.
Oh, yeah. So Scotty's in Mexico. I'm going to be going to Mexico next week for like a little jaunt, just a quick trip to see the Scott man before he heads back to communist Europe with all their lockdowns and such. But yeah, I think we might do a little live call thing. I don't know how like informational it's necessarily going to be. I would kind of prefer to make it more of a fun thing, but maybe we can do a little bit of both.
There will be tequila involved.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically just gonna get hammered, and you guys can just like, I don't know, get hammered with us if you want. I think that'd be cool.
One of those Zoom drinking things.
That's so cringe though. I have friends who like do that. Like they're so pissed off. They're like, yeah, I have a work happy hour on Zoom at 3 p.m. on a Friday.
We were doing it before it was cool.
Yeah, we were. All right. Well, thanks for being here, guys. We'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.